Okay, so we've got one more question to do. This is a problem and there's going to be a lot of people having trouble with this, so you need to look at the question carefully. So this is the diagram you've been given. So there's a whole lot of things you don't know and a couple of things you do know. So we have line W here, it's been marked with the W. We know it goes through point A, which doesn't tell you much, on the x-axis, and its y-intercept is down here at point B. We also don't know that. We do know that that line is perpendicular to line K. Line K we have a little bit of information about. We have its gradient and we also have its y-intercept. So the first question says find the equation of line K. So we do have some information about line K. So we have the gradient of line K and we have its y-intercept. We're going to put those two together into our gradient y-intercept form and just put them straight in. That's that question done. When you get things, as you find them, it's a good idea to come over to the diagram and mark them on. It just makes things easier to deal with. So I'm going to mark the equation of line K on that diagram. Okay, so the next question, part B, says find the coordinates of point A. Well, here's point A, and we have to look at exactly where that is and what's going on with that point. So point A is where line K crosses the x-axis. So here's line K, it's crossing the x-axis at point A. So in other words, it is its x-intercept. You know to find the x-intercept, you know that y equals 0. So we have the line equation, y equals minus 4 over 5x plus 8. We're going to put in our y equals 0 and find out what x is. When you get to this point here, we are going to be getting rid of that by coming over here and dividing by 4/5. So just be careful when you enter that on your calculator. I would be entering it as 8 divided by 4/5. It will give you 10. So that means that our A, it does say find the coordinates of point A. So you can't just write A equals 10. The coordinates involves two coordinates. You have to have an X and a Y coordinate. So that's the X coordinate for point A, and the Y coordinate comes from down here. Okay, so we're just combining these two to form the coordinates for the point. Okay, the next part of the question. We'll mark that on actually. So we've got point A. So we'll come over here and write 10, 0 for point A. Alright, the next question says find the gradient of line W. So what do we know about line W? We know that it's perpendicular to line K. So line K has a gradient of minus 4/5. They gave me that originally. It's over here. So we're going to take that and get the gradient of the perpendicular line, change the sign, and turn that fraction upside down. So the gradient of line W is 5 over 4. And that's all they wanted in that question. So we'll mark that on as well. The gradient of line W is 5 over 4. Okay, so over here we're doing part D. Find the equation of line W. Well, we already have the gradient of line W to be 5 over 4. We also have a point on line W, 10, 0. So we have its gradient and we have a point on that line. So we're going to get the gradient and that 1 point and put them into the gradient 1 point formula and then keep going till you finish that. Again, if you want to change that to general form, which the answers in the textbook probably are in general form, you can do that if you like. Alright, part E. Find the coordinates of point B. Here's point B. So, line W has the equation y equals 5 over 4x minus 25 over 2. We'll just write that on. Point B is the y-intercept of line W. So all we're going to do is find the y-intercept of this line. The y-intercept of the line, you can get straight from here. Because it's already in y equals mx plus c. This is your c, this is your y-intercept. So you can write that straight down, minus 25 over 2. Again, the question says find the coordinates of point B. So you can't just stop at y equals minus 25 over 2. You must give both coordinates, the x and the y. So the x coordinate, don't forget, would be 0, because that's what we did back up. Well, that's what you would do, all right? It is a y-intercept, and we know that when you're finding y-intercept, you've got an x value of 0, and you just found the y-intercept, y coordinate, minus 25 over 2. So that's the coordinates of point B, and that's the end of that question. Your homework will be on Compass. Good luck.